Does that kind of go with your Catholic faith?
Well, it probably goes with my Catholic faith, but I never felt any pressure until you just mentioned it. I pretty much lead my own life. I mean, I don't, I come from a very good family, and I always say that without hesitation, so I've never really had any of the problems that a lot of the child actors. But you have to remember, when I was growing up and in high school, my father was the prefect of discipline and vice principal and then principal of the largest high school in the LA Unified School District. So he was dealing all the time with the best of kids, but also the worst of kids. And that's what he was. He was a professional at raising kids when they weren't at home. So when he came home, he had me to practice on. But yes, I just came from, as I say, with a very good family life.
Have you ever had opportunities to go on talk shows? Or?
Yes, all the time.
So who have you? What shows have you?
You know, I can't even tell you. I've been on Oprah. I've been on Larry King probably 20 to 30 times because I have diabetes. So I've been on many shows all across the country. I've been on the news, but not on the parts of the news that I've done anything wrong. So, but if you mention a show, I can tell you whether or not I've been on it, but I've been on most of your major talk shows at some time or other.
Did you ever figure out how the rumor started that you died in Vietnam?
No. People have told me that on the wall there is a similar name. And it's, I think, I can't even remember what they told me now. But I actually heard it on the radio. It said, actor killed in Vietnam, Jerry Mathers of Leave It to Beaver. Now at that time, I was in the Air Force, but by that time I'd already transferred into the National Guard. So I wasn't even overseas. I was in a unit that transshipped. I was a general's aide, and I transshipped items from the United States to Vietnam. And so, no, never really figured out how it happened, but probably it was someone with the same name, or maybe just someone starting a rumor.
Did you have to do any cleanup work with family when that report aired on the radio?
Actually, not so much family, but people that were fans. You know, I'd be seeing them like maybe a year or two later. I'd walk down the street someplace and they'd say, "Are you Jerry Mathers?" And I'd say, "Yes, yes." And they said, "Well, you're not dead, are you?" I said, "No." They said, "Well, I read in the newspaper that you died." I said, "Well, just like they say, the rumors of my death are greatly exaggerated." And anybody else?
Did you watch any TV growing up?
Well, I watched some TV, but you have to remember I was working on Monday from 9 till 6 and the rest of the week from 8 till 5. So I was getting 3 hours of school and then working. So didn't watch a whole lot. The studio was probably an hour to an hour and a half from our house. So I was getting up at 6 o'clock every morning, so I didn't stay up late to watch any TV. So I didn't watch a lot of TV as a child.
Would you watch the show when it aired as a family, or by that time were you so sick of it?
I've never seen Leave It to Beaver. But I know what the story was, and when I was doing the show, they asked that I not watch it, because they said they didn't want people telling me, "Oh, don't do this, don't do that." They thought it would make me look more like an actor that had been prompted to do things. So they asked that Tony Dow and I and all the children on the show did not watch it.
After the new Leave It to Beaver went off, were you ever hit up for another reunion show?
It's possible. It did very well. The movie of the week was the #2 movie of the week for 1982. The company that bought the Leave It to Beaver rights to make the show, and we made over 110 episodes of the new Leave It to Beaver, got a little big-headed, and they tried to buy 20th Century Fox, and they put up for collateral the Leave It to Beaver show, and then went bankrupt. And that's why, otherwise it would be in a syndication just like the old Leave It to Beaver, and that's what the thought was. But because it's still in the bankruptcy courts, because it was a multi-million-dollar deal, and it's just kind of in the collateral, and nobody can really determine yet who actually owns it again.
Is that why it's not out on DVD and all that?
That's why it's not on at all. Yes, it's in the bankruptcy courts in California.